fly, land, and walk from the car to the stage at the theater. There was no one like her in the world. She won an Oscar and an Emmy, and her body wouldn't give up. It's hard to tell that Liza Minnelli is 79 years old now. She's been in a wheelchair for years and been married 5 times that didn't work out. She's finally letting everyone see her real face. Her daughter used to look lovely in short skirts, but now she can hardly walk. You won't believe how the cabaret star looks now. Liza Minnelli's childhood wasn't just hard, it was also risky. When she was 9 years old, she was in charge of something that no child should ever have to do. In 1955, a doctor told her that her mother, Judy Garland, might die if she took more than 2 Nembutal pills every day. Liza started to open the pills and pour out most of the powder so Judy would think she was taking more. She put sugar there instead. Her younger sister Lorna helped her out. They did this every week. They did it all the time, like mopping the floor or doing the dishes, because they knew it was important to keep their mom alive. It also changed Liza's idea of what was fine. She said in an interview years later, it wasn't and isn't easy to live a so-called normal life. She felt that way in her body as well as her home. People made fun of Liza's mother's body because she had a big chest, long legs, and a small waist. Louise B. Mayer, who ran MGM, called Judy Garland my little hunchback. She looked bad in the studio. As a child, Liza felt the same way. When she looked at herself, the mean things she heard were still there. In the 1970s, someone in Europe asked her how she felt about being called ugly in a job interview. She wasn't surprised. She was used to it now. She felt the same pain as her mother. Biographers say that for a lot of their lives, both women felt unsafe. They all looked for a father figure a lot in their loved ones. That trend started early and didn't really end. Things were very strange when Liza was a child. Judy Garland said she was going to kill herself in 1954 when she was about 8 years old. She locked herself in the bathroom. Liza hung on. It went on for minutes and then longer. Fear took over. She cut the screen with scissors and then went inside. Judy was still alive. She flushed a bottle of aspirin. The act wasn't meant to kill, it was just for fun. Liza knew what it was. Afterwards, she said that all she wanted was to be known. She knows her mom laughed because she heard it. For Judy, even that kind of moment was part of the act. Liza never stayed in one place for long because things at home were always going crazy. She moved all the time. She changed schools at least 14 times. Most of the time, her mom wasn't having much money. His name was Vincente Minnelli, and he was a director. He wasn't around very often. Liza lived with her Aunt Kay Thompson sometimes. Kay is a singer and author. Liza was the inspiration for Thompson's famous character Eloise. Eloise was a little girl who lived at the Plaza Hotel and behaved like an adult. That was Liza. As a child, she stayed in hotels. She did not have a room of her own. She could use the halls, lounges, and a borrowed room. In the early 1960s, Liza was trying to find herself. She didn't just want to be known as the daughter of Judy Garland. 2 guys helped her. One of them was the singer Charles Aznavour, who was French and Armenian. Liza was shocked by the show he put on. She told him he looked good. He agreed to show her the way. He said yes. After that, she didn't do another show until she showed it to him first. She learned more from him than just how to sing. The other one was Tony Bennett. He helped her stand up straight, gain control, and get better at being on stage. Those were the most important lessons in 1965 and 1966. Liza worked hard to show that her last name wasn't all that made her who she was. She played the lead in Flora the Red Menace in 1965. The songs for this, their first show, were written by Kander and Ebb. Liza was only 19 years old. The show was only put on 87 times, but her part made history. She won the Tony Award for her part in a musical. That award had never been given to a woman that young before. A few years ago, she slept on park benches. She was broke because she spent all her money in New York. In 1962, she got her first part off Broadway in the play Best Foot Forward. She was only 16 years old. She didn't stop, and while practicing, she broke her ankle. There was a song from that area that sold 500,000 copies. She worked hard to get where she is now. They never really got along, even though Judy Garland helped her out backstage in 1965. A mom who looked happy was seen, but Liza stayed away from her mom's songs for many years. And it wasn't because she didn't care that she didn't want to do them. In 1999, she finally talked about it on her Broadway show Minnelli on Minnelli. If you're going to do something that's been done before, come at it from a different point of view, she said. Liza Minnelli got her first big movie part when she was 23 years old. The year was 1969. There was a movie called The Sterile Cuckoo. She played Penny Adams, a weird and weak college girl who likes a boy named Jerry a lot. The scene that changed everything was a 4-minute phone call. One take only. No cuts. Her words, her eyes, and her pain were all that was there. She really wants to keep the relationship together, but things are going badly. Manager Alan J. Pakula didn't get in the way of what was going on. He didn't stop the movie. We felt like we were hearing something we weren't supposed to because of that choice. It wasn't loud or exciting. It wasn't crowded, raw, do not feel good. None of what she said is taught in film schools around the world. What is taught is how she made people feel without saying much. There was a bad event right before The Sterile Cuckoo came out, though. On June 22, 1969, Liza's mother passed away. She was 47 years old. She had been in London. By chance, taking too many barbiturates was what caused it. Liza was shocked. She was not going to believe it. She said afterward she'll never pass. She cried when she heard the news, though. She cried for 8 days straight. Michael Feinstein, her friend, said it was a terrible accident. It was a terrible loss at a bad time. Her movie was about to come out. Her name was being talked about in Hollywood, but her mom never saw any of it. The story started with a sad part when it should have been a happy one.